where the code that I built, I did kind of start just hacking away at it and not keeping up with my comments. There will come times when you're just gonna just power through it and you're gonna ignore your comments. I would say you should at some point come back in and re-comment your code so that it makes more sense. But for the most part, we pretty much have all these same structural elements, although the comments may not make as much sense with what I'm showing you here. Okay, so for example, right here, this is this image right here. Well, if you had this code in place and you were like, I don't know where things are, let me show you a quick way to find things in your code so that you can go, I need to be able to find this. Go in and start typing things. So one thing I like to do is come up with something that's very easy to identify. I like to use the asterisk or the star. So I'll put that in place. Oh, check it out. See where those stars appeared inside the design? Now I know that when I do something here, I'm going to start seeing the effects happen here. Or when I put this here and I'm going, I don't know where this is in the actual display, when those items show up and they're very invasive, they don't fit, then I can say, okay, that's where that image is. So use some of your text, some of your edits as a way to find things in and around. So now that I've got that, I could say, okay, well, this inner table left column, instead I'm going to call this my hero image. Now that I know where it's found, so I come in, I grab that, I change this to end hero image. Now my comments start to make sense. Again, we'd come down here, and while yes, you can see this buy one, get one, and you go, okay, well, that makes sense. But let's say that you want to understand more about where the elements are in the code. If you weren't able to clearly figure out this is right here, then you need to come up with ways to create intrusive and invasive components so that you are able to use whatever it is you change as a way to determine or interpret this code. The more you come in and change things, the more you go in and edit this code, the more familiar you will be. Okay? So I would like to challenge you to take code that you've built, and I would like for you to go in and comment it in such a way that it makes sense to you at least, and maybe even makes sense well enough so that someone else would be able to pick up your code and then go straight to editing it without much difficulty. So this is the part where I tell you a wise piece of advice about comments. Comments are a great tool when you begin, but over time, your code needs to be such that a person could come in and they could navigate this code without the comments. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab all of this code. Let me put all this into a different HTML document real quick. I'm going to use this real quick. I'm going to go through and I'm going to use Sublime's thing where you use Control D to find all of a piece of code. I'm going to then remove all of my comments, copy all that, and paste it in place. Now none of those comments are in place, but you notice it didn't change the function or the form of our coupon. So this is the wise piece of advice someone once told me, that code does not lie, but comments sometimes do. Let me show you what I mean. If I come in here and I put in a comment and I say that this is the image, notice that it doesn't change any of the display, but this is marking this buy one get one text, and I'm telling the person editing the code that this is an image. So if they're coming in and they see the comment image and they know what they're doing and they go, there's no image here. How am I supposed to find the image if this is a giant piece of code, a giant body of code? They may be looking for these little comments. So if you're going to use comments and they're perfectly fine to use, do so by being very cognizant of what you're commenting and is it true. Okay? Use the intrusive text so that you can create things and go, oh, I found where that was. Now I know I can delete that, and I can come in here and I can change the color of this text really quickly. Okay? So as you navigate code, use comments sparingly, maybe even not at all, but when you use them, make sure they're correct. All right? Happy coding.